Studio. So much things to edit, change. So now I want my streaming. Content, live. Settings. Why did I find it randomly last time, and now I'm like, where is all the in things? I just clicked on things. I was trying to change the setting, and then it didn't. So this is a nice boat. I'm gonna build this boat in Space Engineers. It is Dutch. It is fairly simplistic. Has a nice double anti-air cannon, fairly like basic layout, but it has some layers. So it's like 1 block, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks high from the main deck. Then we have the forecastle, or like this is the half. I think it's no more a half castle than, or whatever that is called. Like it is yes the front, and then top layer in the water. And then we have to check for armor layouts. And it has no armor because it's a destroyer. So the deck is thick. Wait, the deck is thick? How? I want to... There is no... Yeah, why Deutsch? Like I'm Dutch. That's this one, or upside down, as some might do it. Okay, so it's just a big ol' pile of crap that blows up. Yeah. Hit points, artillery. No, I don't want to see the armor layouts. So now, no, I want to see the Van Kinsbergen Tier 1 cruiser with yes, Bastiaan the farmer. Of course, farmers. Van Kinsbergen battleship. Images. I just want the ship bucket image, full 3D model, or a DeviantArt version of it. This looks like a proper 3D render thingy. Because what can an engineer do without having the schematics of a boat? And this one looks like really lifted right out of World of Warships. So we'll go to the Photoshop. We go to pasting it in, and then what we need to do is check how long this dummy is, and that is usually the wiki says so. What does the wiki say? HLMS Van Kinsbergen. Namesake, Rotterdam. Launched in 39, so right before the war. The dry dock maatschappij. And it was a sloop, which is nice. Its displacement, it was 100 meters, 0.2 long. So to translate that, it's 25 blocks long. Edit. So if I would show that in Photoshop. Here we are in Photoshop. So we go to image, it's preference, no, it's image now. Canvas. 25 centimeters. And then we have to edit, preferences, guides, grids and slices. So every one grid line there's a block. Makes sense for now. Not like that. Like this, guys. This seems a bit small. Something is off here. Because I'm suspecting that each layer would be like, how is this working? Is this 25 blocks? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, industrial plan or I never work freehand. That would be nuts. I am no designer. I just know how to properly make a 3D model from schematics. So you use something like this, which is just a 3D model, forward, backwards, topwards. I sometimes render these myself. But you know, if someone else made it, why make it again? 100 meters. Wait, am I miscalculating? It's 2.5 per 100. Oh yeah, I miscalculated. It is 40. It is a 40 block long image. Canvas size. Maths is, you know, very hard. So what I need to do is make sure that the side view image is this size. And you see that in the render the front size is not on scale with the rest. And this just helps with general sloping, planning things out, you know. And as we see here, like, it doesn't line up that neatly. So what I usually do here is take some creative size freedom and make sure that every layer is about a block high. And then especially looking at the first main layers. So that once it lines up with the 2.5 meters, you can scale towards that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9-ish. Checking where they align best. Probably something like this. Now at least main two layers are lined up correctly. This one's nice, 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 nice. Yeah. No, it's 2.5 meters. Don't make the mistake almost everybody does. It's 2.5 meters. Where does the damn angle? Well, you see angles here. Usually these angles are really bad in Space Engineers. Like, this is fine, you know, this is straight. But now my ship is getting like fairly oversized. Like, let's see, image, canvas size. If we now go to like 44. So yeah, it's like 10% larger than real life. Is that acceptable? Yeah, 2.5. Like we could, like the thing we're now doing is like scaling it back as much as possible without having to really like have weird scaling issues. Like I'm seeing like this main hull, like I don't want it to be 2, so 2.5 is what we're going with. So 2.5 is what is feasible, so we stay within that realm. So now we're getting a bit large. And this is just tedious, you know, pre-processing. But once it's all lined up, you can just go build. That's 2.5. That's fine-ish. No, let's keep it as it was. The 10%. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lines up like this one. Like sometimes you want this black line to properly line up, but we'll just make it a dark red and then a light red thingy. Above, under, at. So let's just make the lines at the floor plans. Yeah. That is true. That's true. But doing a proper pre-op on your design will make sure that in the you know steps you're making, you're like taking it easy. So now I'm thinking, okay, that seems to be lined up, so this is about the scale I'm wanting. Alright, how do the turrets align? So I want turrets usually to be in the middle of the block, so the rotor can be right underneath. So this one is a bit off, this one forward, this is perfect. This one is 40, and this one will mean that's the forward angle. So we put the ship a bit more this way. That means that all the turrets are more in line, and so seeing this, I'm thinking, okay, we can get away with slightly bigger ship, since they need to be a bit more apart. And now we see that mostly the middle of these turrets are in the middle. Now we get this more aligned. Right, that is that area. Anything else we need to take heed of? Well, mostly the tower, front and back hull. Like we see here, okay, this one is close, it's actually on it. So here again, we go for a slightly boost of size. Yeah. For that is the side view. Now the top view. And that is actually more important. We want this to be a full blocks usually, because then you can use panel work on the edges. So we see here it's exactly 5 blocks wide. So that's also perfect. Alright, I think I have all the angles. I'm gonna increase the canvas again to like 80 so that everything is on it. You can also see how the bottom and front are lining up. So we need more than 80, of course. We need 88. And that means 90. Lining up the front and back of the main decks. Halfway there. Lining up all the layers. Woo! That's for that side, and then for this side make sure that they are also aligning properly. So again, we're taking this area compared with this area. Now they're perfectly aligned again. And now aligning the front and or bottom and top. And we're like you could either build a non-central one, but since this is a very center-heavy rotating ship, meaning that almost all rotation points are in the center of the ship, you want your blocks also be central. Like there is a conversion rotor that has the rotor on the middle of a block set, but for keeping it simple, like the sharpness of this is not that important. What is important is that your overall bow curve is slightly on point. Like nobody's gonna say like, oh, it's not as sharp or pointy. Like people understand you can do that in Space Engineers, or you won't do that. Alright, now I have to make sure I can fetch the fronts and back. We see that we have a dual tri propeller, and it's a propeller, not an impeller. Impeller would be internal, propeller is external. So impellers are used for pumps, propellers are used for ships. And how we're gonna do this is we're gonna just put it next to our boat here and align the top and make sure like it's again this 5 wide ship, which is approximately this. And this approximation is good enough. We don't use as much detail from the front and back. It's just to make sure that we figure, okay, is this curve, is it very sharp, is it narrow, is it weird? Putting it in the middle of a fiver again. Making sure that this is in the middle as well. I'm aligning it now to the bottom of the ship, which is incorrect because the bottom of the ship is a halfer. So what I need to do is actually align it to the which deck is actually properly aligned. This top area. So the top area needs to be right on the line, like so. And then we get our proportions. Alright, so this is our main schematic. We will use this as needed. Then our reference point for details, the deeds, is World of Warships, where we have a 3D view of the boat. So, and from this I will acknowledge, okay, this is a black deck, there's a railing from here, there's fences over here, where are the ladder holes, where are access points to the lower decks, and mostly the external parts I'll try to make as accurate as possible. But then going for the internals, keeping it simple. Let's see, on creative server, don't see any design restrictions. No, on creative it doesn't even matter which site you stay on, and the server gets wipes every day. So just be yourself there, try some things out. And usually people just swap sides if they want to battle each other, so that the ownership is correct. Alright, but this 3D model will be using for the coming, I guess, 2 hours or so. So I'm gonna close this game. I'm gonna add I'm gonna open Space Engineers. And I'm gonna grab a drink. I'll be right back. Yes. Oh, it's very deformed. Yes. That means I will stop the stream and set it